Hi guys, welcome to my podcast, Love Your Repeat, or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Today we're kind of branching off of last week's episode, which is about consistency, accountability, and something else. I don't remember what else I wrote in the title, but basically consistency, constant existence, and accountability. So let's get into it. This is going to be short because I filmed a 20-minute video, an 18-minute video of this already, and I mentioned some things that I don't really want to be judged for, so I'm not going to upload it. This is me being a coward, which is valid, I think. But anyways, who gives a shit? Getting into it. Accountability is self-discipline, and it's hard. Consistency has been something that I've struggled with for a long time, because it takes, I don't know, maybe I'm just lazy, but it takes a lot of effort, and it's not like fun. Like it's so much easier to do something else instead, something that you would rather be doing. Like for me right now, instead of filming this podcast, I would rather be watching Survivor. It's my current show that I'm watching, and to me it's so much easier, especially like with technology. Did I already say that? Or was that in my last YouTube video? I know I already said it's so much easier XYZ, but did I say it's because of technology? I don't think so. But anyways, because of technology and the freaking death grip it has around our attention span, it's so convenient to just flip on the TV or your show or swipe on your phone, like scroll on your phone. So much easier. But the real work that we do in this life, in my opinion, is internal, and that's the hard work that you do. And you work when they say work really hard in your 20s, or like when you're young, so that when you're older you get to reap the benefits of it. They're not wrong, but I think there's a difference between working really hard physically versus working really hard emotionally and mentally, like internally versus externally. When you work really hard externally, like a lawyer, like when they're in training, like out of law school and like getting internships and like crappy jobs to like get experience, like you have no life. You're working a shit job, and you work like, sometimes you throughout the night. Like you don't leave the firm till like, I don't know, like 2 a.m. or something. Like that's hard external work. To me personally, in my views, obviously it's not sustainable, but I think that robs you of your life and real years that are important. And this is kind of like, I mean, obviously it's your decision, but it really is like what you're willing to compromise on, and what are your motivators. Like if you're money motivated, or if you're freedom motivated. And somebody asked me that when I was thinking about my career. She's like, what motivates you? And I've never thought about that. So it's interesting. So maybe this like helps you think about that too, and like maybe that'll give you more clarity. But it's important to think about, because when you're working really hard externally, you're going to get burnout pretty quickly, and it's not sustainable, and it kind of sucks a lot of your soul and your joy in your life. Versus working really hard internally, which, yes, there's a balance. I'm not saying it's only internal or it's only external, but I am saying I think a huge portion of our life, because of my opinions, where your life is created from your internal self and your mind and your beliefs. I think that translates to your reality 100%. Because of those beliefs, if you do the really important nitty-gritty internal work of like self-love and acceptance of yourself, and figuring out why people trigger you and how that just is really, they're really just a mirror and a reflection of the parts of yourself that you don't accept and love. Like, there's so much depth to it, and you really become powerful, and you see past a lot of illusions in life and a lot of things that society has set up for us to be things to grab our attention, to not dissuade us, but to keep us in it with a controlled mind, to keep us malleable. Do you know what I mean? Also, I'm reading 1984, and I think that's something. Whether me reading 1984 makes you say, nope, next person, like being turned off by a conspiracy and being like, okay, you're fucking dumb. Or it's like, yeah, maybe they're onto something. So that's up to you. But if you haven't read 1984, I do recommend it. It's an interesting read, for sure, and kind of scary. There's really nothing like tapping back into the earth. And I'm only going to go off topic for a second here. I was so worried about something in my life in this past week. Not worried. I wasn't so worried. Oh my God. I need to find more words to express myself better. I need to expand my vocabulary. I wasn't worried, but I was definitely anxious about something in this past week that I had to do. And there was a beautiful sunset the day before, and I sat outside, I sat in the grass, I looked at the moon, it was out and it was beautiful. It was sunset and it was just gorgeous, and I'm like, why am I anxious? Like, I have nothing to be anxious about. Everything always works out in the end. I'm a full believer of this. And yeah, like, what do I have to worry about? Like, why do I have to worry when I'm looking at the moon right now and a beautiful sunset, and there's so much life and passion and just beauty all around me? What do I have to be anxious about, honestly? So that's side note. Getting back to it, accountability, setting smart goals, which is small, measurable, achievable, repetitive tasks. They don't have to be repetitive, but I think it helps. But for me, like, working up my self-discipline, I start really small. Like, okay, when I get a thought in my head to practice my self-discipline, I'm like, okay, right now, I'm going to turn off my phone and walk away from it. Or I'm going to turn it off and put it down and set it down and not pick it up. That takes self-discipline. And I think when you decide in that moment and you stop making excuses for yourself, like, okay, like if you're scrolling on Instagram or on TikTok and you're like pretty locked in and the thought pops up in your head and you're like, I need to, like, I'm going to be self-disciplined and turn this off right now. Your brain's going to be like, this is really interesting. You don't want to turn this off. How about after the next scroll? And so you go, okay, I have one more scroll after this and then I'm done. And you scroll to the next video. And then it's like a 3-minute video. And then you're locked in for 3 minutes. And then you're like, okay. And you keep scrolling. Or you take one more scroll and you're like, wow, this was really good. Like, I'm addicted to it and I want more. Because technology is so addicting. These are things to build up your self-discipline with. Yes, it's really, really hard with technology. It's like a drug. But if you can learn to master that, you're going to be solid. Like, if you can heal your discipline with technology, I think you're going to be pretty good with anything else. Anything that's super addicting like that. But, like, what do I know? I'm not an addict, so... yeah, that's it. 10-minute videos should be short and sweet and easy for you guys to. I did not mean to quote Sabrina Carpenter, and I'm kind of mad that I knew that was one of her songs. But no hate to her. I don't care. I don't want to be so connected to like what's happening with like celebrities and all this bullshit. Like, who gives a shit? But anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch my most recent video about consistency and accountability, much like this video, the link's going to be right here. And actually, I don't know if the link can be right there, because I'll pin it in the beginning of the video, because in my end cards on every video, I have two videos that I recommend, and then a subscribe button, and that you can't change how long that goes on for. At least I mean, you probably can't, but I don't. I just like smack it and put it on there. But I don't think you can add a card with also end cards already. But it's 10 o'clock. No, it's not. It's 9:30. I'm going to go food prep because I know it's good for me and it's going to benefit my future self rather than postponing it. Oh, I had a really good quote and I actually sent it to someone. It was, "The water doesn't get any warmer if you wait." That's probably not what it was, but it was very similar to that. The water doesn't get any warmer if you wait. Like, the shock of the cold water is not gonna get any warmer if you wait. Maybe that was it. Because it's not. You're just putting it off for future you, which is still you, and it only adds more weight to it the more that you push it off. So why not just get this shit over with? So that's what I'm doing. I have to food prep because I don't want to eat out tomorrow, because eating out adds up and it's expensive and I don't want to do it. And it feels so good to do things that make you feel good. Like for me, stretching every day, stretching. Like, these are things that bring me pleasure and ground me and bring peace into my life, and things that, you know, make me happy to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to live every day, rather than being like, ugh, I woke up, you know? So if there's any advice for this video, set smart goals and do things that bring you pleasure, as long as you're not harming someone else or negatively impacting someone else's life. Do things that bring you pleasure, whether that's reading a book at night before you go to bed, or spending your day, I don't know, doing some hobby that you enjoy. Okay? So, peace and love. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.